Mbula mbula binaka everyone. Think you can hear me now. Vambula chukaningo Recife, Recife. That's the name of the city where I'm logging in from. In Brazil. So I'm so blessed to have the connections right now with the Fotofili family who are logging in from the beautiful city of Virginia in the east coast of the United States. So they are neighbors with the capital city of the United States, which is Washington, D.C. So Bulavinaka to the Mr. and Mrs. Fotofili and also Anne for joining us to talk about this wonderful scholarship opportunity at the Madeira School. So I've had the opportunity not once, but twice that I visited the school, and I'm so impressed by the program that they have at the school, the standard of the school itself. And we are just so lucky that and blessed that we have Mrs. Fotofili with us today, who will be sharing with us her vision of the scholarship opportunity that the school has opened up for us. So as those of you who know my program, we always start with a song. And since Mr. Fotofili is from the beautiful islands of Vanuatu, we will go there through a beautiful song from Vanuatu to kickstart our Talanoa session, and an opportunity for all of us as well to wait for those who are still finding my page. So those of you who are interested in knowing about scholarships and education, share this live with them and tell them to go to my Dr. T, Talanoa with Dr. T page. That's where you will see us. Okay? All right. So let's listen to this song from Vanuatu. By looking at this song, I really want to go there like right now. But for now, we'll just meet online and hear this wonderful scholarship opportunity. So share this live and see you soon. Oh, this is the song. Okay. Right. Enjoy. Welcome to Vanuatu.
Sababuka, que muna utibi, ena vei kumbia kuma mao atu kondala ya toba okuwa simemui ko palikuwa nao na bua na banua tena malata na koro mula mula Deus sambi uti emuna kaleno koroko na vivo Kesaya uongo Kepunu indibi ni lutu amumo Kauta makayawa na ngungangano lo Na kuilama lama lo sa ulano Ileka leka wale Ako masiko mo Tui mua mua na rani anu yanu Wala wana singanin romu e makanu Leo sana toso da kitale manda Shabo samai Arosi ni malaka Yubuso itu ito Samula Paswati au kina toinga kundi mamua Ipeisi kongo eleka leka walenga Isalo mabandina Meuma isedelaka Rua na tikina e rau koko mata Isaka loma loma e koto kina tema Kina mua liku, umoko mua leku Isaba no malabu Meu sana sukalesu Kobi amba tukasi Sebi araida Au sureti ko Mendaru manjikina Wanu amba labu Balabu kadia Au namole mate Tiko ngakina Kapau kefi e tuupe o mamata Au whakape i koe kita e wakiai Wanu amba labu koe watulahi mani Teu mateki ai, teu mateki ai, teu mateki ai Kapau kefi e tuupe o mamata Au whakape i koe kita e wakiai Wanu amba labu koe watulahi mani Teu mateki ai, teu mateki ai, teu mateki ai Anu amba labu koe watulahi mani Teu mateki ai, teu mateki ai, teu mateki ai Anu amba labu koe watulahi mani Teu mateki ai, teu mateki ai, teu mateki ai
Sa totoka. Vinaka mo ng malabo. As I was saying while looking for this song and watching the music video, I really want to acknowledge everyone from Bonombalavu, the beautiful villages of Loma Loma, Sawana, Dalidoni, including Susui, Narodibo, Namala, Taurone, Lebukana, and the Quilomoloma. I hope that I've not missed anyone. Maybe the Kumbia? Yeah, the island of the Kumbia. And what's the other one?
Avea.
Avea, that's right. Is the Toka. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We have the beautiful Fotofili family joining us today. So I'd like to take this time to greet them and welcome them to our program. We'll ask Chobilisi to start with the Vakambula to everybody in the Fijian vernacular, and then I will pass the podium over to Mrs. Fotofili, Katie. Naka Chobilisi, when you're ready.
Naka Chobilisi Fotofili ako pambula tungai ni may Madeira, pambula tungai ni Nonde Viti, na wale buna siamo tumai na pata-pata pinanggoni top ti. Kito kalibutan na maraw, kito may wasya tungango so nga na opportunity to ver na nanda marama maneliao. Pambula sa tukai ni abu I sawana ai unumbalabu au orto me corro isusui isunubara pambula tar tukai non dei viti. Na na matintu tolu kumbuna bun besang ke na matintu to bata. Na valeu sabang bulo sar tsukani pamalo sa pagmadal tikunga eu edan kunga tsubilis Fotofili eu singi daka daka Madeira na marra mangana utingu daka daka Madeira eu ngoni kono bala busawana was kandagu na kasilek na pornawa susintu me valeu wi korona sa imato ni vamadal tikimni
Nadang kuani leo ni korsino baga wasui lome sawana sawana wanang balabu na teman ko les nyambar itu tempo tirang ko ane raka itu tempo.
You want to introduce yourself, Katie?
Sure. I'm Katie Fotofili, and I work at the Madeira School, and I'm looking forward to presenting to you all.
Thank you so much, Katie, Anne, and Travelisi for joining me tonight. I know it's late in the evening in Virginia, also for me here in Brazil, but we know that we have some interested parties in Fiji, and not forgetting our brothers and sisters in the United Kingdom. I also had a few inquiries coming in from parents in the UK who are really interested in the post that I shared, that Travelisi shared with me. Also welcoming our Fijian families in Australia and New Zealand, not forgetting those who are here in the US, but also not forgetting Canada. So Travelisi was reminding me, don't forget to mention Canada, our beautiful neighbor. And so on that note, I just wanted to really acknowledge the opportunity for all of us to be here, because Katie, we hardly have a lot of scholarship Talanoa like this, and I think we need more Talanoa sessions so that our potential families can start planning ahead, or especially when it comes to their children. So over to you, Katie, if you'd like to introduce yourself, and then we can head over to your presentation.
Wonderful. Should I start to share my screen or just talk a little bit about myself?
Yes, maybe talk a little bit about yourself, and then we'll go to your presentation.
Okay, so my name's Katie Fotofili. I met Travelisi when I was working in the Marshall Islands back in 2010 to 2014. And since then, I've been working at the Madeira School, which I'm going to speak about just in a little bit. And I've been here for just over a decade. A lot of roles at the school, but my main one is the Director of Financial Aid, which is why I'm here to talk to you about our scholarship opportunities in addition to just some general information about the school.
Oh, Vinaka. And Katie, if you can just let our viewers know, have you been to Vanuatu?
Yes, I've been to Vanuatu, I've been to Koro, I've been to Taveuni, I've been to Vanuatu. So I've been to a few places in Fiji, yes. And we just took 2 of my children there a year ago. They went to just the main island for now, but hopefully we'll go to Sawana soon.
Very good. And now from 2, you have 3, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yay! That is wonderful. I think I remember the last time I came, you had 2, and then the next time I visited, there was 3. So I'm looking forward to the next one. It'll be 4 or 5.
I might be done. I had a big Lauan baby.
Oh, Vinakavali Katie for looking after Mr. Fotofili and your beautiful children, and vice versa to Chavilisi for looking after your beautiful family. And thank you for being so welcoming every time I travel over to your side of the world, and the beautiful food that you share, the laughter, the giggles, the little travels that we do together. I just want to acknowledge that publicly. And Vinakavakalevu for your big heart to welcome any of us from Fiji that come over to your town. That is just a beautiful feeling when you go over there, come to your town, like you don't feel homesick, you don't feel alone, because you know you have a family there. All right. So Katie, I know we have some listeners online. who are ready to listen to your presentation. So whenever you're ready, please feel free to share your screen. And then also, I will encourage our listeners to post their questions on the chat. Inak.
Okay. So I am going to talk for like 10 or 15 minutes about Madeira. We'll see how long this presentation goes.
No
I'm going to
worries.
give you just an overview of the school and then talk a little bit about the process to apply. I've said a bit about myself already,
Nice.
but I'll say a little bit about Madeira before I start, which is you can see I'm actually in this building that you see pictured right now. My office is in this building. We are an all-girls boarding and day school located in McLean, Virginia, which is just 12 miles from Washington, D.C. on the east coast of the United States. So we're pretty far from Fiji. And here are some kind of fast facts about the school. So we were founded in 1906, about 120 years ago. Our founder is Lucy Madeira. That's where the name of the school comes from. And she believed that it was our duty and privilege to help young women understand their changing world and to have the confidence to live lives of their own making, their own passions, their own dreams. She believed in delivering an outstanding education, which would allow girls to pursue whatever career they wished. And she was intensely focused on helping girls achieve their personal best, whether that was in the classroom or on the athletic field or in the art studio. This was back over 120 years ago. Women didn't have the right to vote in the United States, but she was very forward thinking and progressive, and she could envision a time when women could do and be whatever they wanted. So that's very much the ethos of the school to this day. And you can see that reflected in our mission, our vision, our values. So our mission is to launch women who will change the world. And I think at this particular moment in time, that mission is more relevant than ever. And this is just by the numbers. We're about 340 students in grades 9 through 12. So that's just high school in the US, a little bit different from forms. Grades 9, 10, 11, 12, we say freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. It's your 4 years of American high school. We're 51% boarding students, which is about 175 boarding students. We represent 20 states and 42 countries, either by citizenship or residency. So it's a very diverse school. As I mentioned, we're close to Washington, D.C., which you can see pictured here, and just 25 minutes from Dulles International Airport. So we're very convenient to an international airport that has flights to all those places that Dr. T mentioned. But one really special thing about us is even though we're so close to the city, to the capital city, we sit on 376 acres of land. So it's a huge park-like campus. It feels very like you're living in the natural world. And then we're about 49% students of color, 14% international, and over a third of our students receive some kind of scholarship to attend. And you can see just some photos of our students. So at Madeira, there's a culture of kindness, commitment, and achievement. As I mentioned, our founder, Lucy Madeira, believed in personal best. And so for us, that means we believe our students should collaborate and not compete. And so we don't rank our students. We actually don't have a valedictorian. And that's because we want to foster a sense of friendship and teamwork among all of the girls here. And that helps them to cheer each other on, to try new things without fear. And I also think that being an all-girls school means there's more time in our curriculum and our culture to celebrate the accomplishments of women, to talk from a feminine perspective, and to embrace sisterhood. So our students really develop a confidence, a strong sense of self. We say a voice that demands to be heard. One of our mottos is Madeira girls have something to say. And our graduates tell us that they're much bolder than their classmates in college because of that. Madeira empowers girls to speak up, take action, and lead with compassion and confidence. These are some photos of campus. That top left photo is an aerial view. So we sit on the Potomac River, which is the river that wraps around Washington, D.C. It also wraps around our campus. It kind of feels like going to school in the middle of a national park. If you love the outdoors, there are miles of hiking trails and lots of peaceful places to connect with nature. There's also only one road into our campus, so it's a very safe place, even though we're so close to a major city, just across the river from DC. There are about 50 buildings on our campus, and half of our faculty live here, including my family. And we've recently built a new amazing STEAM building. So that stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Math. And we're building a new barn as we speak. So every year the campus improves. And then two aspects of the program that I want to highlight that I think are really unique to Madeira are our modular schedule and our co-curriculum program. And I'll explain both. So you might find, I don't know if Fiji or any of the schools that you attend have block schedules, but we have something called a modular schedule, which means that our academic year is divided into little 5-week mods. There's 7 of them. And in each mod, students take 3 classes with those 3 classes meeting every day for 80 minutes. So we call those A block, B block, and C block. And they're self-contained, and every 5 weeks we move into a new schedule of 3 different classes. In addition to kind of allowing students to focus more deeply on a few subjects at a time, which we think leads to stronger retention and a more balanced day, we also think with 80 minutes, teachers can do a lot. So this isn't a school where you will just be lectured at from the front or quizzed or like encouraged to memorize and just get quizzed on your memorization. It's discussion based, it's project based, there's research, there's lectures, there's labs. The maximum class size is 16, with the average class size being 12. So it's small and intimate, and you really can't hide in that classroom. So it encourages you to be brave and speak up and really participate and collaborate with your peers. The schedule also allows for a really dynamic school year. So every new mod brings a sense of excitement. You have new teachers, you have new classmates, you're studying new content. And because of the pace, because 5 weeks moves fast, students also build really good time management and self-advocacy skills, which I know Anna can speak to when she talks about herself a little bit later. But we think those skills are really important for success in university and beyond. And then you'll notice on this sample schedule that I'm sharing, in the red, there is one 5-week module when students don't take any class at all, and instead they intern. So there it is again. And that's the other unique feature of Madeira, and I think one of the most powerful aspects of a Madeira education, and that's our co-curriculum program. It's 3 years that allow students to apply their classroom learning in real-world work environments through internships. So through this program, students explore professional fields, they gain valuable experience, they build impressive resumes, all while still in high school. So every Madeira student will complete 3 5-week internships. They're integrated right into their schedule as one of the 7 mods in their sophomore, junior, and senior year. And during that mod, students don't go to class, they get dressed up and they go to work. So in 10th grade, students do service-based internships. They intern mostly at schools, but at local nonprofits. In junior year, students intern on Capitol Hill for a member of the US Congress, either a senator or House of Representatives member, where they conduct research, write policy proposals, and gain firsthand experience in government. And then senior year, students get to design their own internship aligned with an academic or career interest. So if you're coming in and you know that you want to pursue medicine or law or engineering or the arts, there's a Madeira student that has had that kind of internship, and we help you secure all 3. We help you build your resumes, your job interview skills. We'll secure the placement for you and then shepherd you through the internship. These experiences are not just for the resume, they're transformational. So students develop real world skills, confidence, a sense of purpose, and they also get a sense of where they might like to work when they graduate from university. Do they like working in a big office or a small office? Do they want to be in person or remote? Do they like working with their hands? Would they rather be behind a desk? These are some things that they can figure out while they're still in high school before they have to declare a major in college. We've had students work at the Naval Observatory, the George Washington Hospital Cancer Center, the Smithsonian Zoo, DC Superior Court, law firms, engineering firms, museums, and many, many other places. Madeira has been sending students to internships since 1966. So this year we're actually celebrating the 60th anniversary of the program. And like I mentioned in the beginning, when Lucy Madeira founded the school in 1906, it was a progressive idea to found a school where women were encouraged to be and do anything. And in 1966, it was a progressive idea to send students to Capitol Hill to work in government, to send them to law firms to work in law, to send them to nonprofits to learn about serving their community. So those progressive ideals are really apparent through the decades at Madeira. Life at Madeira extends beyond academics and internships. So after classes, all students participate in an afternoon activity during our 3 seasons, fall, winter, and spring, and we call this D Block. We have 12 interscholastic athletics teams. We have horseback riding, dance, theater, and many other things. On the weekends, we also have a menu of options, both on and off campus. So there are opportunities to explore DC, fun cultural destinations. I'm sure Anna can speak a little bit about what her weekends and evenings look like at Madeira. But one nice thing is the Fiji Embassy is here in DC, and if there are Pacific events in and around DC, that's something that a student could pursue if they're at Madeira. This is just the list of some of the things that we offer. And it is mandatory to participate in at least 3 as a freshman. So they'll pick something from fall, something for winter, something for spring. It can be the same thing, it can be different things. But that's part of our philosophy around trying new things, putting yourself out there. If you've never done, I know our sports can be different than the Commonwealth countries than Fiji. So one thing I like about Madeira is you can really try something new. You don't have to be an expert when you get here, and Madeira will encourage you and help develop your skills. So a little bit about the application. It is a fair amount of paperwork, but now you know my face and my name, and later I'll give you my contact information. And so I can help you every step of the way. That's actually my job. But you would need to create an account in 2 different portals. One is Ravenna, which is the portal where we accept application materials. And one is Clarity, which is where we accept scholarship materials. So you apply for admission and you apply for a scholarship. An interview is part of the process, and we offer them via Zoom, so I can help you set that up. And essentially, the application timeline is it opens in 2 weeks. The application will open, the interview portal will open, the scholarship application will open, and you have all the way until January 15th to submit your materials. We also have a fun video on YouTube, so if you find Madeira's YouTube channel, there's lots of videos that you can watch to get to know the school better. I put a little information about Clarity on here. This is our scholarship application, just to reassure you that it's easy to fill out. It's very secure. If you are a US taxpayer, it'll pull your tax documents right from the IRS to see if you qualify for the scholarship. If you're outside of the US, it'll ask for a different set of documents. This shouldn't be difficult to fill out. They offer some family nights and webinars of their own if that's something that you're interested in. And I wanted to show as well that they have in-app support, they have an email, they have a phone number. So there's lots of people that can help support you through the application in addition to me. If you qualify for one of our big scholarships, and so a scholarship can cover up to the full cost of tuition, you are eligible for additional support. So we have a program here called the Madeira Fund Experience. And in addition to covering the cost of tuition, it can cover a laptop, health insurance, your textbooks, your calculator, a small stipend comes with it. And actually just starting this year, global programs, we take 4 trips a year to various places around the world and in the US. I believe last year they went to Morocco, they went to this coming year they're going to South Africa, they're going to South Korea. Those are covered as well as part of the scholarship. So we've tried to make the scholarship more comprehensive every year. There are costs to consider outside of the scholarship. So transportation to and from Madeira is something we expect families to cover. And our school does close during breaks. So those are kinds of questions that we could talk about on an individual basis. But it is a fairly comprehensive scholarship. And then I just wanted to give you a sense of the application. So Ane went through this process, I guess, was it like a year and a half ago? There's a student profile I would waive the application fee. So if you decide to move forward with an application, I can provide you with a fee waiver. Students will answer a set of essay questions. Then there's a statement for parents and guardians to fill out just about your child. You would ask for recommendations from your English teacher, your math teacher, and either your principal or guidance counselor at your current school. You'll need your current grades and previous 2 years of transcripts, and then some kind of standardized testing. If you're in Fiji, we accept the national exam results. So if you've taken some kind of standardized test in the last couple of years, we'll accept those scores. For non-native English speakers, we ask for a Duolingo or a TOEFL test. Duolingo is cheaper and easier to access. I can also provide a fee waiver for the Duolingo test. You can just take it online. And then the financial aid application through Clarity. And all of that is due January 15th. And then decisions come out on March 1st. And you get about a month to decide if you'd like to accept your spot in your scholarship, because I know that's a big decision. And then this is my contact information. So you can contact me directly at kfotofili@madeira.org. Financial aid at madeira.org also goes directly to me. I have a phone number, but if you're outside of the US and you want to talk to me directly, we can set up a Zoom, a Teams. I could probably figure out Skype if I needed to. Just email me and let me know how you prefer to get in touch. And please think of me as a resource as you navigate boarding school in America. So that's my presentation.
Wow. Woohoo! That was amazing. Nakavali Katie for such a very thorough presentation. You've
Sure.
covered a lot of key points,
Mhm.
especially when it comes to the application that you mentioned, the admission application process, and then the scholarship as well, and then the processes that you've discussed later on as well. And yeah, just by looking at how the classes are offered, I wish I could go back to high school. It just sounds so exciting to learn. And I think, what you've just shared, maybe Anne, would you like to maybe share just briefly what your story has been? And for those of you who are just watching now, wherever you're logging in from, please say hi on the chat. And we just want to acknowledge Katie. Katie is the Director of Financial Aid for the Madeira School. And she's very open and flexible there by sharing her email address for the school, as well as the financial aid at madeira.org, and even a phone number. And I love the fact, Katie, that you mentioned that maybe those who wanted to contact you, if they're calling from outside of the US, it may be expensive. So Zoom and Teams are the option for you?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay.
And I'm happy we can work in your time zone. So if this is something you're excited about, just don't be shy to contact me and we'll figure it out.
Wow, that's wonderful. And Katie, just out of curiosity, since you've been teaching there for 10 years, have you had students from the Pacific join in, or Anne is the history in the making for the school?
Kind of the history. So I know in my decade there have been students of Hawaiian descent, but not from Hawaii. I would say Ane is the first during my time here. It's pretty far away from the Pacific, and so I don't think many Pacific students know about it. But that's the purpose of this call. And we do have students from very far away, not just Fiji, but there's a student coming from Australia this year, from Bhutan, Nigeria, Mexico, China, Korea. So they come from all over the world, definitely.
Wow, I remembered when I was taken on the tour by Anne, she showed us the different flags in the dining area.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we have an area of our dining hall where we have flags representing the nationalities or residencies of all of our students. So there is a Fiji flag in our dining hall right now.
wow. Wow, thank you so much. And then again, last one before we pass over to the microphone over to Anne. What motivated you to have this conversation and to share the love with those who are watching and listening, especially our parents?
So if you work in a boarding school, you wear a lot of different hats, you have many jobs. But the one that's dearest to my heart is scholarship and financial aid. And I've been at the school now for 10 years, and I think I have a lot of trust from the school and support from my director and my colleagues and my head of school. And it felt like a good time to invest back in a community that's given me quite a lot. So, as I mentioned before, I spent 4 years in the Marshall Islands. I met my husband, who's from Sawana. I spent extensive time in Fiji, and it feels important to extend these opportunities to families in the Pacific. I know there are a lot of talented students from Pacific families who maybe are familiar with boarding school, because I know there are boarding schools in Fiji, but might not know about the really excellent opportunities there are at American boarding schools. Or maybe they don't know where to start. It can feel a little overwhelming if you look at some of these websites. And so I do think I'm in a unique position where I've lived in the Pacific, I've spent time in Fiji. My children have been to Fiji, and I know now what opportunities exist, and I'm in a position to be helpful. And so it's been a really positive experience having Anne here. She can talk about that a little bit more, but I'd love to have more students from Fiji here so that she has someone to speak Fijian with, besides my husband.
Sabihin na ako. Nakabaliw sa Katie. So for those of you who are listening in, don't be shy to ask any questions. You can direct it to Katie, type it on the chat, and then we'll be happy to answer them for you. So now the spotlight is on you, Anne. Anne, would you like to share your experience so far, Anne, being at Madeira School?
Yeah, it's do you want me to talk about the beginning of like the process, or like me currently here in the school?
Yes, you can start off with your experience so far, and then we can go to when you first, the process of how you got there.
Okay. It was my experience here in the school has been a really positive one, in a way that in growing, in seeing like a different perspective of the world, I guess. And yes, the school has a really unique way of bringing out a way to like to get yourself out there and put yourself onto that like position of where you shouldn't be afraid and should be able to express yourself freely. And I really, really, really enjoyed learning in that type of environment where like you're not really like pressured into like thinking you're wrong for whatever you say. It's more like you can express yourself a lot, and it has brought a lot of the experiences at the school has been like really eye-opening into like different parts of my life, in through like whether it be academics or sports in general or extracurricular activities, from things that I enjoy as a hobby, and just bringing it to light, and like being in a community that supports you. And I really enjoy what I've like really felt from this school, and I'm really happy that I was able to come into the process and meet new people from all around the world, get new experiences, and learn about different things.
Wow. So Anne, I know you've got a beautiful voice, and I vouch for that. And you've also performed some meke at the school. Tell me a little bit about that.
Um, I am really, really proud of my culture. Like being here has made me more proud of it than ever. Being able to showcase it in not only as me individually, but as vocally throughout song and emotions and feelings, and through dance, which I really love, because recently I had my swing sister, who I had perform with me culturally, and being able to share the culture with those around me and the community has been truly a gift and a really great experience to have with them.
Yeah, and tell me about the school sister opportunity. Do you know, because that's something we don't have in Fiji, I think. Maybe in Andida Kumbau school. I remember when I went to boarding school there was a sister older than me, and then I also have to be a school sister for someone younger.
Mhm.
So just share a little bit about that, Annie.
Um, so we have a thing called swing sisters, which is a person that is, like you said, older than you in a high grade who welcomes you and I guess in a word that I would say mentor you into the process of how the
Mm.
school functions. And this swing sister I have really grown really close to. She's like a family member to me, but she they most like they help you. They help those who are new into the community to understand the basics of what happens around, and if you need questions or need to talk to someone
Uh-huh.
instead of like an adult, you could always talk to like them. So it's like a
Ah.
sister in school. So
Wow, that's wonderful. Nakawakalevo Ane, that's a good way to share to future students who will be joining in later to know that they won't be alone. There's someone that they can talk to and get that support. Now, Ane, you also went to a school in Fiji. Can you tell us which school was that?
yes, I was in the school Yatsen primary school from ages
Mm.
1 to 8, and
Wow.
um learned Chinese from there. And
Wow.
um I I guess most of my experiences there were really, really positive, and I'm really thankful to the growth and the community there.
Now, I know you can speak Chinese, and I know you're very fluent at that. Maybe can you just speak to us very briefly, maybe introduce yourself in Chinese to our listeners. Let's just got to show to our family listening in too that, Fiji has got a lot that they need to be, celebrated about, like schools like Yatsen, who have produced young students like you, Anne. So over to you, Anne.
大家好，我叫阿内，我15岁，我来自美国学校，我在Madeira 在上学，所以我真想你们可以来 Madeira，谢谢你啊。
谢谢。Oh, Malo, Malo Ane. Wow, look at that. From humble yet Saint Primary School all the way to Madeira School. And the only way that can happen is through this wonderful scholarship that we are talking about right now. And Ane is testament to what Katie Fotofili has just shared with us earlier, and this opportunity that Mr. Chovilisi has offered for this platform to be used to showcase about this scholarship. So, Mr. Fotofili, can you just share with us the process of connecting Anne to Katie and for the Madeira School in terms of the journey she took to be able to come over to Virginia?
Uh, Jenny, I think uh, we spot her through uh, her brother, Api Tutumbo, celebrate her on social media, her gift in speaking Mandarin. And that's how we
Wow.
were able to spotlight her. And then the rest was Miss Porfield and like following through the process, going through the process that Miss Porfield just mentioned. So yeah, we've been working with the Ministry of Education too, trying to find, and it took forever to get a candidate, and it's another perks of social media, like you're able to find one through their celebration as a family.
Yes.
And, and yeah, the process. Katie, what did you want to talk about from your end?
I think what's helpful, so Joe Lisi doesn't work at Madeira, but when we were working with Ane to help her with the application process,
Yeah.
it helped that Joe speaks Fijian, that he could explain certain things about
Mm,
Madeira and the application in Fijian,
mm,
that he could talk about some of the differences in like culture, like answer questions or anticipate questions. So I think Joe Lisi is a helpful resource in the process in terms of like he also immigrated here in 2015, so he knows what it's like to come here and the challenges that a student might face coming here.
mm,
And then also help connect them with me. So if there's something that I'm missing, or we're having trouble like finding an interview time, or there are like pieces of the application that I don't have, he's a good resource in terms of like connecting with the parents or explaining things. Mhm.
Oh, like,
wow.
an advantage I was a teacher in Fiji too, and I could speak of the curriculum in Fiji and the curriculum
Yes.
here, and there were like some gaps that they were not seeing here, and then I could reconcile the expectation and the standards in Fiji compared to the standards here in America.
Yeah, also knowing who to talk to. So
Yeah.
who at the ministry could speak to like the national test scores. And that was my first time reading like a national test score from Fiji. So, having an adult to help translate that for me or point me in the direction of who could explain the scores was helpful as well.
Benar kembali Katie. And Mr. Fotofili, you mentioned that you've been trying to get through to the Ministry of Education, and I know there will be those from the ministry listening in today. What would you say is the challenge in communication for you?
Uh, well, there were things like they were not following through. Like we were asking for the uh, the results, the interpretation of the results. How can you interpret, her score to the national score?
Mm,
And
But I think the main thing was promotion. So
yeah,
we were able to work with the Ministry of Education to approve the
mm,
scholarship, and they got it through. But then that people didn't really know about the opportunity. And so that's part of why tonight is
mm.
exciting is how do we, like, once we have it in place, how do people find out about it? And it didn't feel like people were really finding out about the opportunity, even though we worked through the right channels to make it available.
Right. So the most important thing is for them to know first, right? Because you cannot do anything if you don't know it in the first place. Eh?
Yes.
So awareness is so important. And us being here, that's why I was mentioning earlier that I was so excited about today because I know this will be the first of many Talanoa sessions that we could have. And there's a lady here, Miss Casey, asking about how to get started. So Mbulubinaka, Miss Casey, thank you for your question. And I know Miss Fotofili has shared it earlier today in the live on how to get started. So Katie, would you like to say something to that?
I would say
And
so. The
then we'll
best
come back to Travilis.
Yeah, the best place to get started is just on our website. So it's
Website.
www.madeira.org, Madeira.org. Because if you go there, at the top of the screen, there'll be a button called that you can just click called apply. And on that page are all the links that you need, how to get started, the timeline. Um, uh, and it gives it to you in steps. So it's like step one, you need to fill out this form. And then once you fill out that form, you're in our system. So now I can communicate with you and help walk you through the application. So the very, very first step is just to go to the website and click apply.
Wow. That's a real good start. Click apply. Okay, good. I'm
Just to
typing it
keep
as
it
well as you
simple.
speak. Yeah,
Because
nice
sometimes
and simple.
if you have lots of steps, I feel like that can be intimidating. We just start with the very easiest first one.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so one, find the website. Two, once you're in the website, go to the right-hand corner, click apply.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Well, so Miss Casey, I hope that that has helped you just to answer that question on how to get started. So, Mr. Trabilis, you were saying about let's go back to the Ministry of Education, and I know Katie, in Fiji, sometimes our communication skills are maybe not as sharp as what it should be. And so sometimes our emails are sitting in someone's inbox for a very long time.
True.
And then once they respond, it takes a while for us to, like as you were saying, how to understand the scores, that the honest scores to, someone else's, so, or the national score. And we need people like Chovilisi, to come in between to be the bridge, between us and the institution. So Chovilisi, let's go back to the challenges. And how did you overcome the challenge of communication or understanding the data?
Uh, well, I did the interpretation on their behalf. Uh, but
Well, he also, though, got in touch with Yat-sen, who was able to provide copies of their curriculum.
curriculum.
So then we could see what she had already studied. That's not something that would have been easy for me to do, but Jovelisi was able to do it.
Yes. And it
And,
helped because Trevelise just said he was a teacher, so he understood, some of the processes. Why? Yeah. So we need Trevelises in our lives. People who can be the bridge, because it is hard, it is difficult, and also for the benefit of those listening in from the Ministry of Education, I know many of them have got 3, 4, 5 projects on their desk at once. So maybe we can plead to them, if you know that you receive an email and maybe it's not for you, if you can forward it to someone else, but make sure you mention it to Katie or Chovilisi before you forward it so that the communication continues.
yes.
If you
I-
want, just quickly, I can share my screen so they can see the website.
Okay.
So this is the page that I'm talking about. It's madeira.org. When I got to the website, I clicked apply and it takes you to this page. And then you can see when you scroll down all of the
Can you
steps.
share it again? You haven't shared it, Katie.
Oh, whoops. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
All right. So when you reach the site, you click apply.
Nice.
It takes you to this page. And when
Ah,
you scroll down, you can see all the steps, step 1, step 2, with the links as well. So that's the page that you're looking for. And it's here as the address here at the top.
okay. So the apply is on the right-hand corner, right there. You can see inquire, apply.
Yes, just right there.
Right. Okay. So yeah, Miss Casey, I know you are watching the live right now. So I hope that helps with your question. So as Miss Fotofili just mentioned, for you to go to the website first. So the most important thing, go to the website, then you click apply, and then you just go follow through the steps. Yeah. Okay, Vinaka for that. So Vinaka for the questions. For those of you watching, don't be shy. And even if you join us later and watching the replay, still type in the questions you have, because we'll still follow back and watch and read the comments. Yeah. So
Dr.
Chobilisi, back to what you were saying in terms of working with Annie.
No, I also I think the communication broke down. It was initiated by Miss Selina Kuruleva. She was the PS. So when she was the
Yes.
PS of education, it started this communication, and then she had to go through a transition, and I think she transferred to another department, and that's when we started all those miscommunications started coming in. And also would like to thank Dr. Rachel Tanga, the PS for Foreign Affairs. She was very helpful, especially there was a getting her passport ready, and we had a shortage of passports, and we really appreciate her support. So those are some powerful unsung heroes behind who made this scholarship possible. I just wanted to shout them out too.
Vinaka Bakalewu. And Mr. Chobilisi, how did the school at Yatsen react to having Anne come over to the US?
I think it was something new for the school, and it was a big thing. It was big news. Everyone was happy and excited for the journey, and yeah, I think Anna would speak better on that issue. But I would say another support uh, on the first year, there's a lot of educational gaps, and from Fiji and here in America, I think and Anya encountered a lot of this, and we call it productive struggle, and we provide the support. So she had a lot to go through, endure through that productive struggle, and I appreciate Anya's persistence and tenacity, because those are the experience that will help later in life.
Absolutely. So, Anne, were you homesick when you got there?
When I first came, I thought I was like the adrenaline was like really rushing, so I didn't have much time. But as like the times passed and it clicked to me that I was starting to miss home, and it was a really tough thing to go through. Um, but it was it was a lot during the first months of school, but in Madeira, it's not really like you're left alone to feel those feelings. You have a bunch of
Yes.
support, and I was really well supported in the dorm and at here at home over here. So I was well
Mm.
supported, and I got through it.
Oh, Vinaka, Vinaka. And I know you've taken me to your dining hall, and I saw your face lit up when you took us to the dining hall. Tell me about the food.
My experience with the dining hall when I first came, it was I was really dazzled on how they do food at the dining hall, because it's the amount of food not only, but also they don't like they think about all the international students that live on campus, and they
Yes.
um put out in like cultural foods for like each international kid, making them feel a bit more closer to like home. And
So good.
I'm really happy about it.
Our dining hall did make kokonda this year. Yes,
Yay!
for Ane.
For Anne, wow. So it just makes you feel connected and not homesick, eh, Anne? When you saw the coconda.
Mm.
Oh, it was amazing. It felt like home.
And I'm sure Mr. and Mrs. Fotofili, they're such great cooks, and all the food that I see in the home, makes you feel at home. Do you agree, Anne?
I agree.
Yes, yes. So you're well fed, both at home and also in the dorm. So, Katie, why is it so important for the school to incorporate those cultural food? That's a really good point that Annie raised, that some of the food that are served are from where the students are from.
Think it's a celebration of who's here. So we're bringing together so many students from so many different places. And we do that because we want there to be cultural exchange, and we want students to learn about places they've never been and cultures they've never experienced. And um, it feels like students get excited about it. So, and I mentioned Dancing Meke, we have an international night every year where students are encouraged to submit cultural performances, and they perform for the whole community. We have an international week that's really focused on lots of different kinds of food. So we incorporate holidays and traditions into our school calendar. So I'm sure Anna could also talk about things she's learned about that she never celebrated in Fiji before as well. And I think that makes this place feel like a second home and not just a school, which is important when you're living here.
Absolutely. Annie, would you like to share a little bit about those experiences?
Yes. I have learned a lot coming onto this campus, and um, knowing that the school incorporates different cultures from all around the world, and just being able to celebrate with them culturally and um, see the diversity of the campus
Mm.
is the greatest thing I've ever seen. And just seeing that everyone is brought together by not only like as a school to learn things and
Mm.
be and grow together, but also culturally and diversely, and just being able to celebrate with them in not only in like dance and song and but also in food and learning about like their languages and different cultural weeks.
Absolutely. Yeah, and food does bring people together. It's to me, I always say that food and music are universal languages.
Mhm.
Yeah, so wherever you come from, food and music is something that connects all of us. Yeah. Wow, Vinaka. Nakavalevu Ani for sharing your experience. And Katie, when you were sharing your slides earlier, I was really amazed by the service-based learning.
Mhm.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I do think one of the things that makes Madeira most unique is the internships, and they're designed to build choice and independence as students move through it. So the very first internship they do is service-based. It's just in the local community. They teach at a special needs school, at a local elementary school, at a center that helps the elderly, and they also take a Learn to Serve class, and they're interning in groups. And so the idea is for that very first internship, they're not alone, they're with their peers. We take them to and from the internship, they pack a lunch, they learn about serving their local community, and they get a sense of what it means to work outside of school, but with populations that they're excited about. I think a lot of kids like working with their elders, like working with young kids. So it's just like the first time they dip their toe in. And then when they intern junior year, it's actually part of their US history class. So they will identify a policy area that's really important to them. Maybe it's immigration or education. Maybe they're really passionate about healthcare. And they'll start to develop a policy paper. They'll say, like, what do I think I want to learn about? And then they'll figure out who in Congress also
Mm.
cares deeply about that issue, and they'll sort of narrow down who they might want to intern for based on their interest area, and then they'll continue their research on Capitol Hill. So students they get to do all kinds of really cool things on the Hill. I think that's such a neat internship. The Hill meaning Capitol Hill, meaning Congress for the US. Um, some of them have even like proposed bills or had a sponsor or had their senator or congressional representative like sponsor a bill. Um, and then senior year, that's kind of, I say that's like a choose your own adventure year. Um, that's the first time they're truly independent, because when they're on the Hill, they might be in an independent office, but they're still commuting with the other juniors. They're still using Madeira transportation. They're having a shared experience across the junior class. But senior year, they go in a million different directions. So, one friend might be really fascinated by law, and another medicine, and another education. And so they're all going to different internships for the first time. But we think that by the time you get to senior year, you're really ready to do that.
Mm.
And you've had a lot of coaching and experience and preparation. And so that's 15 weeks of not school, of interning over the course of your
Wow.
Madeira education, that I think really helps prepare you for what it's like to go to work. And for an international student who maybe wants to go to university in America or pursue a career in America, it's really valuable to gain, like, what is it like to work here? What are the skills that you need to be successful? To gain mentors in the field that you're working in, and supervisors that can help you find other jobs. So that is one of the parts of Madeira that I think is the most compelling. And DC is, we're so close to this very important international city, so there's so many internship opportunities here that are really impressive.
And I'm so happy that the school was very proactive, right, in that regard, to connect with the establishment that is, around you. That's
Mhm.
great. Mhm. Oh, go to Alicia. Ask the
Yes,
question.
this question for Miss Fotofili.
Sure.
Um, could you, because this scholarship is a high school scholarship, just elaborate on the role, supporting role Madeira has for the transition or pathway to college?
Mm.
Sure. Um, I also wanted to briefly say when you were talking about passports, I'm also the contact for I-20s, which is the document that you need to get your visa and can coach you through that process as well. But essentially, coming to a boarding school like Madeira, particularly if you want to go to university or have a career in the US, it's a nice first step. I know it's a young age to come to Madeira. We do also take students in grades 10 and 11, but most of the students we're accepting are for grade 9. So they're 14 or 15 when they come to Madeira. And while that's young, it's also a good age, I think, to learn cultural norms, to learn how to navigate systems here with a lot of support. If you're just coming to the US straight to college, there's a huge learning curve, I think, in adjusting to the American system. I know there are some Fijians on the call that are in America, but college, you're kind of on your own. Like you have to figure out college. Yes, there are resources at college that you can access, but you're independently navigating them. Whereas if you come for boarding high school, every adult here is focused on how to help you grow, build the skills you need, learn to self-advocate, build a resume, and then we do have a college counseling process. So everyone is assigned a college counselor at Madeira, and they'll know which schools offer scholarships, which like where the biggest likelihood for like an international student might be. They're very good at helping a student navigate the next steps. So all of our students get into great four-year universities. If they need scholarships, they find great scholarships. And we do feel like by the time we send them off to college, they're ready to navigate that. They've built the skills here and the connections and the network here to then be successful as they go on to their next step. We have reunions here every 5 years, so it's always really amazing to see people come back to campus and talk about their experiences. Ane would have already heard from, so every time we do a reunion, we also do a college information panel with young alums where they talk about their college process and their college experience. So even though Ane's just completed 1 year here, she's already heard from alums of Madeira who've gone on to college about their experiences. So you really just gain, a big network, a wealth of knowledge. And there's something to be said for having so many adults like cheering you on, supporting you, helping you build skills, because you don't, unless you're going to a very small college, you don't usually get that level of support.
Absolutely. And I think you raise a really good point in terms of the age, yeah? Because some of our listeners may be wondering like how early their child should be to be able to come to school. So you mentioned from grade 9?
Yeah, so we're just a high school. We start in grade 9, which for us is age 14, sometimes age 15 for international students, because I know we're on slightly different calendars. The US school year runs from August through June, whereas I know the in other countries they're on more of a calendar year. But 14 or 15 is usually the starting point for freshmen.
Wow. There you go. And in terms of tuition and what the scholarship covers, would you explain a little bit about that too?
Yeah, so you apply for the scholarship, but it's really just assessing needs. So when you complete the scholarship application, it'll ask you questions about your income, your assets, your expenses, your debt. But really, it's trying to set to what we're trying to figure out is what can you contribute to tuition, and it could be that the scholarship covers the whole cost of tuition to Madeira. But we have students here on every scholarship level. And then depending on what that application says, you can also qualify for additional aid. So I was talking a little bit about a supplemental program. We call it the Madeira Experience Fund. And that provides a monthly stipend for students so they can participate in weekend activities and do shopping. It provides textbooks. It can provide a laptop. I mentioned our global trips. So we have thought about like what's the full cost of participating in everything Madeira has to offer. And we've grown that program year over year to incorporate some of those things that are outside tuition, but are really important to the experience of being a high school student here. So it can be very comprehensive.
Oh, wow. So when they start at grade 9, the
Mhm.
support will be there until they finish high school, and then, as Fabrice was saying, that the school can help them progress them to college.
Yes. We ask you to fill out the scholarship application every year, but as long as nothing's changed in your finances, you should expect the same scholarship every year. You know, if you have like if you win the lottery, then maybe you don't get the scholarship again. But every year you can expect the scholarship to continue. You just have to fill out that application. And then our
Wow.
college counselors will help you access scholarships for the next step, which is college.
So that's wonderful. Now, apart from you've given your email and you've given the website as well, in terms of deadlines, are there any particular deadline for them to meet? Because we're already in August.
Yes, there's just one and it's January 15th. So they have from now until January 15th to complete all the paperwork and submit it. When you click apply on that website and you fill out the very first form, you get added to our system and we email you lots of reminders. So once you start the application, we don't like to let that deadline pass without like making sure you know about it and making sure you know what you're missing. But it is an important deadline. So January 15th, that's the one.
So now will be January 15, 2027.
Yes.
Wow, that's wonderful.
For
Man,
the upcoming
Katie,
school year, yeah. So
for
then
the
the
upcoming
school year
one,
would
eh?
start in September of next year.
Next
So
year.
we're really looking for students in grade 8. I don't know what that is in Fiji, but students who
That's
are
Form 2, eh?
form two,
HMDs. Form 2, class
form 2,
8.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
to apply, and then they'll start their
Man,
freshman year here in September of next year.
man, that's wonderful. As I was saying, yeah, when I was hearing and watching your presentation, I want to go back to high school, Kate.
And I know Ani didn't talk about this, but I've been so impressed by how she's put herself out there. She's one of the lead singers of our rock band. She auditioned for that as a freshman. She was in our chorus. She did volleyball. She did track and field. She did martial arts. She's joining like the Global Youth Leadership Board. So she did film club. So she's doing all kinds of cool things.
Wow. And all of those activities adds to not just the academic learning, but the social learning as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so wonderful. Yeah, thank you, Katie, for that amazing presentation. Tbilisi, any other questions or comment for Katie?
Ah, that's it. That's all. But I think just from the comments, they're asking about the consideration for students on religious background, and I think Annie
Oh,
could explain the school support and your faith. Okay?
are you asking me or Ani?
Oh, Annie, let Annie.
Oh,
Go,
uh,
Anne.
so as I started up in my process, that was the same question I asked these two wonderful people here. And as I've gone through the year, the school gives really good support to anyone from any religious background. Um, and being a boarder, from my perspective, they provide transport to and from your um, wherever you're having your religious gathering,
Yes.
and the school helps with the transportation.
Yeah, so they do religious, we call them runs every weekend. So they'll drop you off at your religious center. They'll pick you up as long as it's local. But that again is one of the things that's nice about being in this location is I feel like we have quite a lot here. And then if there are like religious celebrations that you want to introduce the community to, or you have a special diet that you need to be accommodated, or like certain hours for prayer, things like that. They'll work with you and your family to make sure that you're able to continue to do those things.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's a good question. Vinaka Chobolisi for raising that.
Mhm.
I thought that was just important being a Fijian. They was put a faith uh, on some of the teaching from home.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Mr. Fotofili, I know you're also a teacher by profession, and can you tell us what school do you teach in?
Um, I teach here at the nation's capital, DC Public School. I'm a special education teacher. I do co-teaching for grade 9 and 10 in algebra and chemistry. And
Yes, and I have to go congratulate you for your recent graduation, Mr. Fotofili.
oh, thank you, thank you.
Yes, tell us what you graduated from.
I just did my master's in education. Um, yeah, I think having been here at a all girls education institution, it gives you the motivation to go back to school. And then having two girls again and a boy, it's quite rewarding uh, having to accomplish a master's degree in
Wow.
education.
To talk. Wow, that's wonderful, Mr. Fotofili, for sharing your story. It'll be a huge encouragement for our young men who are watching, maybe those who are young fathers, that they can still study and complete them just like you. Yeah, we're not gonna live. And thanks to the family, to Katie and the girls and your son as well for their support. Without them, you would not have graduated successfully. It's a teamwork. It's a family support. So we're not gonna live to release. Um, what's your future plan with that master's degree, Mr. Fotofili?
Well, um, right now I have a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old boy. And I think I'll continue to stay in education because it provides a family schedule. Uh, like I just started work today. I had summers off, so I was able to spend my summers with my kids, and it's nice that you can, especially in this early development, in this phase stage, you got to see all those milestones and celebrate every milestones. So I think I'll continue to stay in education, and then we'll see once they go to high school. We'll see what's the next step. Yeah. Until then, I think I'm enjoying my career in education here at the nation's capital.
Total. Vinaka Mr. Fotofili, for sharing that. Lisa, Vinaka for your time and for Katie and Mr. Fotofili and Anne. So maybe to wrap up, I'll pass it back to Anne if you wanna say a few words to any young girl listening in right now who may be dreaming of coming over to Madeira School, and then we'll go to Mr. Fotofili, and then Katie will wrap it up for us. Anne, what would you like to say?
Yes. Right now it may seem like a bit scary or like a big decision to make, but just believe in yourself, and if you know that you can achieve it, which I know and I believe, and you really want to like leap for it, take the chance, because you never know where that path will lead you. There's multiple doors that will open for you, but it all ends up to you. And I really wish you all the best.
Sabi nakabaliw and congratulations again for being at Madeira School and championing Fiji and making sure that that flag is flying in that dining room. Naka ane. Mr. Fotofili, any words of encouragement to parents
Mm.
and fathers watching today?
I think it'll be a big decision because there's going to be the geography gap to release your uh, young daughter to this journey. But please know that we are here to support them and in every way we can and to celebrate them with a little Fiji here we have here in Madeira. Naka.
Nakawale Sara, Mr. Fotofili. And then Katie, your last word and wrap up for us tonight.
I'm excited that families are keeping an open mind and are curious about Madeira and this opportunity. So thank you for joining the call. I always feel like my job is to make this feel a little less scary, a little bit more accessible. And so I hope you'll think of me as a friendly face and a resource for you as you consider this for your child.
Yes, Vinaka Valim Sara, Mundo to the Fotofili family and Anne for joining us tonight. I know it's late on both sides of the world where we are in, but this Talanoa session has been so positive and upbuilding. And a lot of the parents, I've also put the link on our Andita Kumbao School page. It's a girls' boarding school in Fiji.
Oh,
And I know many of the old scholars from Mandita Kumbao are also living abroad. And I hope that that can generate some Talanoa sessions among the old scholars to be able to consider sending their daughters to Madeira School. So, Vinakavakalevu to you all for your time and for your knowledge, for sharing this wonderful opportunity. And I wish your family all the very best.
Naka.
Okay.
Yeah, when if there's any more updates, please do send it my way. And if I also have inquiries, I hope you won't mind me passing them over to you because I know there will be lots of questions coming in.
wonderful.
Okay. All right. Vinakavakalevu and love to you all.
Naka.
Okay.
Mate,
Naka, Wadamanda, Naka Ane, Naka Katie, Naka Chavilisi. Thank you. All right. So that wraps up our scholarship opportunity at Madeira School Talanoa session. For those of you who've joined us this evening, Vinakavan Levu, and those of you who will join us in the replay of the live, please, as I said earlier, don't be shy to send us any questions or write comments on the chat so that we can be able to answer your question. The key thing, as Katie has mentioned, the deadline is January the 15th, 2027. So currently we're looking to get a student to come over in 2027 in September. So from us on this side of the world, from Brazil and from Virginia in the United States, bidding you all goodbye, and we will schedule another Talanoa session in the future when there are more updates that will be coming my way. Anne, I look forward to coming back to Washington, D.C. and hear you sing once more for me and my team. Vinakachovilisi?
Naka.
Naka, Madamanda.
Mate.
Iyo, Made. Lalaman to the children. Yeah.